This press conference has already become traditional, and today you will be asking members of Expedition 2728, you will be asking your questions, and I think the format is going to be quite usual. Everybody knows what to do. Please say your first name, your last name, and who you're directing your question to. My question is for Alexander. We saw on Roscosmos website when we read your interview, and we read the information about a certain mascot that your daughter had given to you. Could you perhaps elaborate a little bit who will be guarding you during this anniversary flight? And another question, will your family be here for lunch? Yes, it is true. My daughter prepared a mascot for me and gave it to me. I could not have brought it here because right now certain procedures need to be done with this mascot. It is a small, funny dog with very long paws. I asked, why are you giving me a dog? Simply because the dog is the best man's friend, and you were born in a year of dog, and simply I wanted to give you a dog. When I get it, I will, of course, show it to everyone. As to the second part of the question, yes, of course, our families will be here in Baikonur for lunch. And what will you be taking with you to remember and think of your family and friends? Usually, the members of expeditions take with them family pictures as well as pictures of their friends, and we will do the same. Will you be taking any mascots with you? My family will be here at Baikonur as well.
I will also bring photographs of my family and just some things that help me remember the Earth while we're there.
The anniversary of your Gagarin's flight. Alexander, I believe you earned yourself a bit of a nickname as a child, as a little Gagarin. Tell us a little bit about that.
This information was published at Roscosmos website as well. It happened in my childhood when I was in kindergarten, and we were given a present. It was a small rocket. I was so happy. I would not allow anyone to touch it, and I would play with this rocket myself all the time, and that is why people started calling me Little Gagarin.
Andrey, for another question there. You've waited an awful long time for this space flight. Did it ever seem like the chance would never come, and how grateful are you that you now have this chance?
Of course, I did have a feeling that my first flight would happen not in the very near future, but looking back, I would like to say that time is here. Time flies, and we will be launching soon.
Finally, to Ronald, if I could, just go back to the subject of Gagarin's flight and 50th anniversary. How important, as not just for science and for space exploration, but for mankind as a whole, really, was that date 50 years ago?
Yeah, no, it was a very, very important event, one that it's a great honor to be associated with, to have our mission associated with. And I truly believe on that day, on April 12th, that our humanity became a different species. We were no longer confined to the boundaries of the Earth. And I think the 50 years since then, we've had nothing short of miraculous progress in our ability to use space, to use space in a way that's benefits all of mankind, all of humanity, the science that's being conducted on board. All of that was made possible by that first step that was taken 50 years ago, and it's a big honor to be a part of that.
А если нет, то в какой форме вы будете пропагандировать отечественные достижения на орбите?
And how will you be celebrating this anniversary when you're on orbit? And the second question, have any particular sciences have been planned on orbit simply because we'll be celebrating the 50th anniversary of the first manned flight? Has anything like that been planned? Of course, we would like to continue what astronauts and cosmonauts have done before us. We will be speaking with our colleagues in which particular format we will be doing this and working in this way. It is an anniversary flight. Garan is a very experienced crew member who knows how to have a page on the internet and a blog and write there as well about our experiments, etc., about things we will be doing on orbit. How we will be celebrating this anniversary flight? We have several sciences that we will be conducting on board the station. We will be talking to the young people around the world, and we hope to be able to talk to many youth and inform them of the advancements in the space industry. We also will be working on launching a small satellite from aboard the station. And that is almost it. I would like to add that we don't have any detailed information just yet. We will, of course, be sharing our impressions, all the information we get. But I hope that we'll be able to have a very constructive mission aboard the International Space Station.
I will have a blog, and where that blog came from was from my first mission to the International Space Station. And when I arrived on the space station, it was absolutely amazing to see what we, all of our partners, all of humanity had created in orbit. It was just absolutely spectacular. And I thought, you know, if we could do this, if we could build the most complex thing ever built, and to do it in space, you know, some of these parts had never been connected before on the ground. And if we could do that, working together, you know, what could we do working together to solve a lot of the challenges that face our planet? And so we created a website called Fragile Oasis. It's at fragileoasis.org. And one of the objectives of that website is to shine a light from space, to use that perspective from space to highlight how some of the challenges that we face on Earth are being overcome and are being solved.
Any other questions, please? We have the backup crew here as well. I have a question for Alexander. 50 years ago, when Gagarin went into space, he was supported by a lot of members of his family. Do you feel that a lot of people support you as well when you will be launching in a few days?
Может быть, небольшую поправку. Вы говорите, что Гагарина провожала вся страна. На самом деле вся страна встречала Гагарина.
I would like to correct a little bit. When Gagarin was launching, you said that a lot of people were behind him. A lot of people were actually meeting him when he came back. Of course, I would like to say that I feel a lot of responsibility before my flight to make sure that our flight, our mission, that was given to us, was entrusted to us, is very important, and we cannot let anybody down. And to go back to your family, how important it is to feel support from the Earth, from back home. Of course, it is important, because we don't have anyone closer to our family, our children, our friends. And of course, we will be helped, and it will be very important for us to talk to them.
Случайно запланированная акция доски юбилейных мероприятий в честь 50-летия полета в космос Юрия Алексеевича Гагарина.
As you know very well, 50 years ago, Yuri Gagarin completed his first manned mission. And this mission can be compared as to climbing the most important, the highest mountain in the world. So we would like to give word to our next guest here. I am from GCTC, Gagarin Cosmonaut Training Center, and we have been training and preparing cosmonauts for many, many years. We have been participating in different events where cosmonauts are given awards and participate in many different events. Many, many other different events. We made this decision to make sure to bring the memories of the first flight to Elbrus, the tallest mountain in the world. This expedition was conducted. People claimed Elbrus, and Maxim Zaitsev was among the members of that expedition. We brought those banners atop of the mountain with Gagarin's picture on them, and we would like to show them to you here. When Pavel and other members of this expedition brought the banner up to the mountain and they looked at it, they were so surprised to see that Gagarin was such a young man when he flew. Thank you very much for your attention. And I have something else here to show as well. We have been planning to bring banners just like this one to other mountains around the world to celebrate this 50th anniversary of the first manned flight. And here there is a proof that it has been done. It has been completed. You have pictures here. Thank you very much. This belongs to a museum right now, to our museum. Thank you very much for all of your hard work. And this was brought to the mountain as well. My congratulations. Thank you very much. Thank you for your work. Thank you very much, and let us continue our press conference.
What preparations are in place for the night of the 12th?
We need to also not forget that the International Space Station, it is our working place, and we will be celebrating there. As to the Earth, all the celebrations, everything we need to prepare and make and do, we'll have to coordinate with mission control in Moscow. I am sure we will have TV conferences. We will be answering a lot of questions, but the main thing for us is to continue the work to make our mission successful.
On board the ISS. I have heard her play. She is quite good, so don't worry. Is there anything that you're planning to take along yourselves? A little bit like that.
I'll just say there's a number of musical instruments already on board. There's a keyboard, a guitar. I guess there's some flutes now from Katie. So I think Dan's going to give me some guitar strings to make sure that we're set there. And I'm not sure if these guys are taking any musical instruments. I know that Sasha plays guitar.
Thank you very much. Any other questions? I have two. To the main crew. Two of us are flying for the first time, and Ron will be aboard the ISS for a very long time for a first time. And I think to prepare for all the sciences you'll need to conduct aboard the ISS is something new to you. What is the most interesting you anticipate on orbit? And tell us a little bit about the sciences you will be conducting on the ISS. And a question to the backup crew. What feelings do you have when you prepare to observe the launch of the main crew and you're remaining here on Earth? To respond to your first question, we have about 40 sciences that we will need to conduct in the Russian segment of the International Space Station. Of course, you said that we will be flying for the first time, and we expect and hope that our sciences will be very interesting and not too difficult to conduct. Of course, it is very interesting for us to look back at Earth and observe this amazing picture of our planet. Aboard the International Station, we do have a lot of equipment that would allow us to take wonderful picture of the planet. I would like to add, yes, I'm a member of a backup crew for the second time now. And what are our feelings? On our side, we are ready for the flight as well. I believe the main goal of the backup crew is, of course, if God forbids anything happens to the main crew, we hope that everything will go well, of course. But we're here to support them, and I think in accordance with the plan, we will be launching in September as well. And just to answer your question, to add something, several members of the expedition are flying for the first time. I would like to present our colleagues, our cosmonauts here, and give the word to Nikolai Borisovich. First of all, I would like to congratulate all of you from the President of the Russian Cosmonautics, from Vasily Vasilyevich Kovalyonok, because your training has been completed and the flight is about to happen. We congratulate you. Two crew members, Samokutyaev Alexander and Borisenko Andrey, are members of the main crew. They are preparing for the next space flight, and in accordance with the rules of our Federation, we would like to present the Order of Cosmonaut to these crew members. These awards have been prepared, and the numbers are 133 for Alexander Samokutyaev, number 134 for Andrey Borisenko, I would like to, it would be my pleasure to give them to you right now. Congratulations.
Эти удостоверения они возьмут с собой.
The crew members will be taking these to the International Space Station. There are stamps there, and every time they fly for the next time, they always take them with them. First of all, this particular document confirms their identity beyond the borders of the Russian Federation and on the International Space Station. I would like to wish you a very successful flight. May you complete all the planned program for the flight. And to say a few words, have a very nice flight and be well. Thank you. Thank you very much. I would like to ask a question from Ronald Garan, because I asked what were the main sciences, the most interesting sciences he thought the cosmonauts and astronauts will be conducting aboard the ISS. I believe we have already answered this question in greater details. We will have many scientists aboard the station. Of course, we will be taking a lot of pictures of the planet. It will be very interesting. I also saw many other experiments that we will be working with. Going back to the pictures, I would like to say that it is impossible to take the identical picture of our planet simply because it looks so different at different times of the day. And I have never seen any picture that is not beautiful.
I think this is a very difficult question to answer because it would probably take the rest of the day to describe all the experiments that we're going to do. For example, some of the medical experiments that we will conduct on ourselves have basically two objectives. One is to understand how the human body functions in space so that we can go farther and explore the solar system. But the knowledge that we gain by those experiments also help us with medical problems on Earth. Now that the construction of the space station is almost complete, and we have 6 people on board, we have a lot more time to devote to what the space station was built for in the first place, and that's all these experiments, and it's a great honor to be a part of it.
In GCTC, we do receive a lot of qualifications. And you were talking about qualification of a diver. It is very important for us to receive this qualification because when we prepare for our EVAs, it is important to receive this qualification. And we become a officer/diver. It is this qualification that we receive for preparation before we fly. Yes, everyone who prepared and who dived and received this qualification are able to conduct EVAs.
Спускайте радиоскаф. Как это вот по программе было бы хорошо. Спасибо.
Да, действительно, у нас предусмотрен в настоящий момент один выход в открытую.
It is true. We currently have one EVA that is planned for our expedition. We will be conducting several activities during this EVA on the Russian segment. Of course, I'm talking about activities outside. This will be resupplying the Russian segment with scientific equipment. Then we'll need to detach and move several equipment elements to different spaces, different locations on the Russian segment. Then, as to other activities for our EVA, there are many of them. This EVA will be happening with a member of Expedition 28 as well. But I'm not sure of all the details yet, and we'll be able to discuss it a little further sometime later. And who will be going out? It will be me for sure, and Sergei as well. Thank you very much. Any other questions? I would like to ask you how your training went. Was anything particular? Because this is the 50th anniversary of the first manned flight. Anything particular happened during your training? I would like to say that the final preparation is quite standard. After having completed all the formal activities, like today's press conference, meeting with the management of Roscosmos, then the members of the expedition will be flying to the Moscow region, where they will be preparing for the expedition, after which they will be flying for Baikonur. Then at Baikonur, of course, we have a very intense timetable that we need to meet. We also have a plan that we need to stick to, a plan associated with the vehicle, and many other different details. As you understand, spaceflight is a very difficult and detailed activity. To answer your question whether anything particular is planned simply because this is the 50th anniversary of the first manned flight. I cannot tell you anything yet, but I think it's quite a standard procedure, and it has been going very successfully.
Ну, позывной мы выбрали себе Тарханы. Маленькая историческая справка. Тарханы — это населенный пункт.
Tarkhane will be our call name, and Tarkhane is a small village. And this is where Yuri Gagarin was born, and he was buried there as well. And I simply would like to say that Tarkhane is quite an important place for me, and the crew said that they would agree with me to choose this name. And our name would be Astray, and this is a name that we chose simply because it is associated with constellations and stars.
Командир, вот так. Нет, втроем, вот так. Вот. Единый коллектив.
Сегодня совсем мобильный. По очереди.
Пожалуйста, внимание, снимаю. Еще раз.
I'm taking a picture now. One.
Все, спасибо большое.
Thank you.
Все, дублир. Все, спасибо большое.
Thank you. Very soon, your crew will begin the final preparation for the mission. On the 10th of March, we had the commission of the main designers, and we discussed the launch of your mission. You know very well that the launch will not be very easy, simply because it is an important date for us. It is the 50th anniversary of the first manned flight. Of course, everyone is quite moved, It is very important for us to celebrate this anniversary. Of course, it is additional pressure, but I think it is a very important anniversary, and everybody should be very happy that it will happen during your expedition. We will invite well-known people of our country, people from around the world, to participate in the launch. Of course, you will be the centerpieces of this particular event. Many other specialists will be participating in the launch of this expedition, specialists from Energia, and everyone will try to make sure that we celebrate this event and to make sure this expedition goes well. We have been discussing the preparations with many specialists at Baikonur, and everything has been going well so far. Of course, for Alexander Samokutyaev and Andrey Borisenko, it will be the first flight. We understand it's quite a moving experience. Of course, you're flying for the first time, and we spoke with different specialists, and they told us that those cosmonauts and astronauts that fly for the first time, they expect an amazing number of moving events, and they will happen. It will be a very interesting flight. I would like to say that during your expedition, 3 progresses will visit the ISS, and a shuttle will be docking as well. You will also be conducting scientific experiments aboard the International Space Station. There is a lot of work, and I would like to congratulate you with that and wish you a successful completion of these activities. We have been working on our lab module as well. It has become a tradition. You have chosen a patch, and they are right here. And I think it is a very nice and beautiful patch. I think this patch has not been chosen by accident. Of course, we should remember that this is a very important event that we will be celebrating in April. And the man who created this patch is very famous in our country. He will be at Baikonur. He will be participating and watching the launch. And I think it would be wonderful to see that person at Baikonur. And to end, I would like to wish you a very successful expedition. Good luck to you. Thank you for participating in this expedition. And once again, this is an anniversary flight. And I think we will be celebrating it in a very nice manner.
I'm sure you
All right, that is it from me. Let us have a cup of tea, and we'll listen to what you have to say. Also, please do not forget our children. They would like to hear from you, to hear from space. Keep in touch with them. On April 12th, Ministry of Education of the Russian Federation decided to conduct activities associated with space and space development. I think it is a very nice and right decision. Everyone should be remembering this day. I think it is quite an important event in the history of humankind. Also, here at the embassy, we will have a dedicated event to celebrate the first human flight in space.
commendable kind of activity.
Ну, короче говоря, я взаимодействую с международным сотрудничеством и всячески содействую этому.
Thank you very much for all the support. We are very happy that we will be flying soon. We're very happy that our expedition happens to coincide with the 50th anniversary of the first manned flight. We have a wonderful working relationship among the crew members. We are hoping that the expedition will go very well, and we will do our best to complete all the activities that have been planned. I would like to say, as Alexander just stated, that we're ready for the flight. Our training went very well. We received a lot of help and assistance from specialists in different fields. And of course, I would like to say that we understand the great amount of responsibility that is associated with our flight. We will do our best not to let anyone down. I also agree with what was just said. I am confident that our expedition will be successful. We will complete all the planned activities. The members of our crew are great, confident crew members. And thank you very much. You do have experience flying into space, yes. Good luck to you. You have not flown on board Soyuz, right? No, not yet. It'll be very interesting for you, and good luck. I would like to also reiterate to the backup crew that we should always be ready just in case of any phenomenal situation, any emergency. We should always be prepared to support the main crew. And that is a present from us, and thank you for your assistance during our training and preparations for this flight. Yeah, this one is a little different from what we're used to.
сейчас, да, сейчас вызывали это самое, спасибо. Они не уйдут, все
Ну, правильно, я их проверил, отлично справился со своей задачей.
I would like to congratulate you with the ending of your training. I think all of us understand the great amount of responsibility, all the goals and plans for your expedition.
Ну, секрета нет, 15 числа мы планируем сбор мяса, собрать рабочую группу нашу.
On the 15th, we are planning to gather all the members of our working group. And this group will be participating in looking at different ways of development and how our further plans will be developing in the future.
От вашего имени мы можем еще разлучить. Очень рвутся все на Луну и на Марс сейчас. Космонавты говорят, надоело работать.
People have been to the moon, and now we'll need to be planning to go to Mars. Nobody knows how we're going to get there yet, but this is a nice idea. I hope that very soon it will become reality.
Наверх уберите.
Какие удочки? Нет, если бы Паскевич не командовал, была бы не фотосъемка. Да. У него...